Hey, it's Jared with Self Mastery for Men. And if you're watching this video, either we've connected personally one-on-one through Instagram or Facebook, or maybe you've already booked on my calendar. We have a 15-minute intro call where we're going to talk personally and we'll figure out basically what's been holding you back from being the man that you know you're really meant to be. But either way, no matter where you are in your journey, I got a ton of respect for you because if you're watching a video like this, I know that you're a man that's committed to yourself. And usually the men that find me, I can assume a few things. You're a man that knows you're meant for more and you're willing to put in the work. You've done the personal development stuff. You've listened to all the podcasts. You've been to the seminars. You read the books. You've taken the courses. Like you're in it, right? You're here to become the best version of yourself. But there's a little bit of a challenge if you're really honest with yourself, and it's that sometimes knowing what to do and fully doing it or stepping into your full potential is two different things. And it's like you know what to do, but there's one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake simultaneously, or you'll do two steps forward and then three steps back, or you'll get amped up for something for a while and make some progress, but then it tapers off or it dips back to old patterns and habits. But it's not that you're not doing the work. It's not that you're not sincere. It's not that you don't have the right mindset or there's nothing wrong with you. You just know that you're capable of something bigger in terms of your success in your career, your finances, your relationship. You want love and passion, your financial abundance, but there's something inside holding you back from being able to experience it at the level that you know that you could if there's nothing in your way. And that's what we're here to fix. Now, it might show up in a couple different ways. What I've seen with a lot of men is it shows up where they know they want to achieve more, so they start to hustle and grind. And they end up working 10 times harder than they need to, but they're not getting the results that they really want. Right? There's more work and it's the same payoff or sometimes even less payoff. And they're like, well, I thought more work and more habits and more action was going to be the answer. So right, more action, let's bang our head against the wall, and it burns them out. Or they know where they want to go and they start going down that direction, but then it comes out of nowhere. There's like a fear of success, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, some limiting belief, or some type of weird weird self-protection mechanism comes in, and you end up self-sabotaging, and you hit that new high on your thermostat, like your internal thermostat of your mind, and you're like, oh, that's not what I'm used to, and it brings you right back down. It happens all the time to so many people, doesn't it? And then the other thing though too is some people, some men, what I find is they've done all the work, they've read all the books, they have put the effort in for a long enough period of time, but because they're still not getting the result, like they figured they should be fixed by now, if you know what I'm talking about. And because they're not at a 10 out of 10, they're not exactly where they want to be, they start to second guess themselves. They've had coaching, they've had mentorships, they've invested in themselves. They're like, maybe the problem's me. Maybe I'm just not destined for success or something like that. Have you ever been there before? I know I have for multiple different times in my life. And I'm saying this to you not to paint this horrible picture of, this is how bad life is for you. That's not what I'm all about. I just want to share with you, like, if you resonate with any of that, you're in the right place, because first of all, that was me. Like that was me straight up. So if you stick with me, I'll share with you the best of what I know, and the best of what I know has worked for clients of mine. Because if you see there in the before photo, you're like, oh, that was a long time ago. No, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And before that, I had everything that you would think that you would want success-wise on paper. I had a great relationship with my college sweetheart. We were best friends. I had a business that I would have done it as a hobby. It was like so fun for me, and I was making good money doing it. But it wasn't all that it appeared, because I had all this unconscious self-sabotage and a lot of things I just told you about before. And very slowly, the foundation started to deteriorate. But the problem is that it wasn't that I didn't know what I was doing. I had been to all the personal development seminars and everything like that, but I wasn't doing what I knew. It's like I knew what to do. I was aware of the problem. I was aware of the solution, and then autopilot would hit and it would wipe me right out. Does that make sense? And so I ended up there's the picture right there. I ended up 80 pounds overweight. I ended up divorced. I ended up depressed. I ended up, the business ended up tanking. It went belly up because I was so emotionally upset because of the divorce. I was not financially where you'd want to be compared to the success that I was having previously. To me, I was at rock bottom. But the worst part about that photo right there is not that the situation was bad. It's that the situation got that bad because I allowed it to, and I knew better. Does that make sense? And so, spoiler alert, there's the photo on the right. Like, I figured it out. Right? So everything is good. I started making six figures in my business. I got in the best shape since college. I got in a great relationship, figured out masculinity and leadership and relationship. It's all good. But I want to share with you what I know. But you're saying, great, you helped yourself. It's one thing to help myself. What about other people? For the past 2 years, I've helped over 100 men do the same exact thing in different areas of life. And so what I want to do, and I followed up with them 2 years later, a year later, 6 months later, the changes we did 2 years ago when we first started, from when we just first started, it continues to get better over time because we're not putting a band-aid on the problem. We're fixing it at the root. I'm going to share with you how we're going to do that here in this video. So I want to share with you 5 men specifically from all different categories of life, all different walks of life, and how it's helped them, because you can find yourself in the story and find the common patterns. We have Trevor here. Trevor, highly successful guy. He was an athlete in college, athlete in high school, successful on paper. He has a great marriage. Everybody's like, Trevor, you're crushing it. But the problem was his success was masking that he felt that he was hiding behind his own success. To him, and this is like a quote that he told me, he's like, everybody thinks I'm crushing it. To me at night, I'm like, I'm a 6 or a 7 out of 10, or maybe even a 5 sometimes, because I'm holding myself back from all this stuff. And he's like, I know what I'm really capable of. We wiped out the root cause of that, not a Band-Aid fix, but we got the root at the identity level. In 90 days, he reclaims his mission, his focus, his purpose, clears out all the mindset stuff, clears out all the stuff from the past. He leads powerfully at home and in his business. He starts doing $20,000, not at work, because he could make money elsewhere. He started making $20,000 a month in his own business because he finally got aligned and he stopped getting in his own way. Does that make sense? That's self-mastery. Here's Arel. Arel's a super successful guy. You want to talk about someone where, like, on paper, he's got everything you want. He a TEDx speaker. He's an Inc. 30 under 30 honoree. He spoke at the White House, and not only that, he's got a great relationship with his wife and children. He's a devoted family man. So he's super well-rounded. So what's he need help for, right? You figure he's got everything he wants. No, the challenge is that despite having all these things, he was strictly hustle and grind and bang your head against the wall. But he was playing not to lose. He was afraid. He wasn't moving towards success. He was moving away from the fear of failure because he was afraid that if he stopped, everything would fall down. And that's no way to live. It's like he had all this success, but he didn't feel successful. So it was really like the golden handcuffs, and he was stressed all the time. And he's like, if I just take my foot off the gas a little bit, I'm going to lose income, lose opportunity. He was really freaking out over it. Well, we fixed the root cause of the problem, where that came from, within 6 months, because before he had to work where he was personally, if he wasn't there, it wouldn't make money. Do you know what I mean? We fixed it to where he got so aligned internally that he no longer had these things that were holding him back. Within a very short amount of time, within 6 months, and he has this documented, he did a 500% increase in his business revenue. And he scaled a team, so now he's not personally responsible. What do you think that does to his level of freedom in his family, with his children, with his peace of mind? It's life-changing. Here's Aaron. Aaron, he's super successful in business. He's an entrepreneur internationally, has multiple businesses, travels the world. Successful in business. His relationship is struggling. His fiance is ready to call off the wedding. Not because there's relationship challenges, but because he's got, similar to Greg, but in a different way, people-pleasing syndrome, where he's not actually bringing his authentic self. He's bringing on a mask. He's trying to be he's trying to be everything to everybody. He's trying to be what people want him to be, and he feels like he can't be his authentic self. And the fiance, she loved him, but she's feeling the disconnection, right? He's like, I got to fix this. And because he's successful, but he was still open to getting help, which I super respect even more, because sometimes there's a lot of people out there, you'd be surprised, they're stubborn. He's not. He wanted the help. He put the work in. We found the root cause of the block, got rid of it. He starts showing up as a grounded, authentic, masculine leader with a backbone, like he's got a spine, like he's got courage, but he's also got a heart. And he leads his business, and he leads his relationship. And his fiance felt it. 2 months later, the change was so dramatic. He sends me the picture. They got married. The wedding went back on. They're living their best life. So this is the power of this stuff, when you get rid of the root and not just the Band-Aid. Finally, here's Luke. He's a mindset coach. This is the interesting thing. He knows all this stuff intellectually. He was in personal development for over a decade. studying everything. He could recite everything. He could help other people. He's getting clients amazing results. But this was like me a few years ago, right? You can help other people, but you can't help who? He couldn't help himself because all of the stuff that he learned personal development wise was intellectual learning. He hadn't embodied it yet because of all these internal conflicts and roadblocks. We get rid of the roadblocks. He goes, Jared, it's like the 10 years of personal development that I did finally like downloaded into me and worked, right? It wasn't that the stuff that I was doing wasn't working. It's that I wasn't allowing it to work because of my own internal blocks, right? We clear that stuff. He hit his best quarter financially ever the next quarter, right? Immediately right there after that. He's got internal peace, internal happiness. That translates to his relationship. There's a lot less stress, a lot more freedom and love and passion in the relationship. And he's living his mission. And he feels like he's actually making a purpose and he's making a difference in the world, which is the most important thing. Now, you've seen the proof. You've seen the 5 different men. They're all different walks of life, but there's some key patterns there, aren't there? If you think about it, here's the thing. It's not that they didn't work hard. It's not that they weren't grinding. It's not that they didn't invest in personal development. It's not that they weren't doing the books or courses. They were highly competent. They were doing the habits, everything. The challenge was it wasn't personal development work or mindset work. It was a total internal identity realignment is what they needed. They needed to solve the problem at the root, which is an identity level transformation. Because if you put a Band-Aid on something, if you try to fix your mindset, try to fix a belief, try to put a habit on something, but you don't really believe that you're the person that can achieve it, nothing else is going to work. There's a quote. Well, here's the truth. I'll get to the quote in a second. Every man who's stuck, you're stuck for a reason. Your conscious mind says you want success, freedom, impact, but unconsciously you're wired to avoid fear, survival, limitation. You're right. So there's what you want, and then there's what your unconscious mind brings you towards. Maxwell Maltz, he wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. He talks about the concept of your identity. Your identity is the strongest force in your personality. But Maxwell Maltz talks about your identity as a servo mechanism or a thermostat, where basically, to keep it in plain English, it's like your autopilot, your unconscious autopilot. And he goes, you always rise or fail to the level of your self-concept, of who you believe you are. You don't get what you want, you get who you believe you are unconsciously. And until you get to the root cause of that and get rid of the blocks, you'll keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. Does that make sense? So we don't work with the symptom. The symptom shows us something. We want to get rid of it at the root. So you're wondering, well, how the hell do we get rid of this thing at the root? How do you get rid of decades of stuff in a matter of days, not months, years, decades? How do you get rid of it fast? Well, there's a process I created out of necessity. I had to figure this out for myself. It's called the 7 levels of self-mastery. And I take these 7 levels and I put them over a 3-day span of time. It's called the 3-day VIP transformation. And what this is, it is not motivation. It is not surface level habit stacking. It's not accountability. It's not think positive. None of that stuff. Right? That's personal development. That's good stuff, but it's not surface level. What this is a full identity transformation at the root, where we're going to identify and isolate exactly where you're misaligned across the 7 most important areas in your life. If just one of those things is off, it's going to self-sabotage you. Most men, what I find is they have a conflict somewhere in like 2, 3, or even all 7 of them. I've seen it where there's a conflict in all 7. So we want to align all of this from the top down. But here's the thing, like it's not like surprise you don't have to do any work anymore. Look, you're going to have to take action after this. There's common sense action you have to take. But imagine what's going to happen when you take the action that you already know how to take, but you're no longer sabotaging yourself. You no longer stop yourself. You no longer go 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Who would you be in 6 months if you stopped stopping yourself? That's what this process does. It gets rid of the root of your self-sabotage where you don't do it anymore. And it's going to be automatic like your new autopilot. Now, we can get into this later. I'm going to talk about this in my identity audit with you. But who you are now is the sum total of your past and then also what you believe about the future. But people, what they do is they're chained by their past and they project their past out onto the future. And they wonder why they're not getting results. What this process is going to do essentially is we're going to take a big metaphorical scissors, get rid of the chain that's tying you back to the past. And then we're going to basically install a rocket ship to your back and then magnetize you to your goal. And that's what it's going to feel like after we're done. This is what I did. This is what Arel did, Aaron did, Greg did, you name it. This is the process. And the beautiful thing about it is, you can keep doing this through willpower, through banging your head against the wall. I respect that. We're men. Like we're wired to bang our head against the wall and solve problems, but why bang your head against the wall when there's a door right there? You can just transform this by, we'll figure out what's the root cause of this, get rid of it, and get rid of the self-sabotage, and make it where your results become a byproduct of who you are internally. And the best part, doesn't take years. It takes 3 days, truthfully. 3 days, 2 hours a day. That's what it's going to take to figure out the conflicts and get rid of them. Now, it's like when you plant a tree, it's in there, and then you want to make sure that there's some support, there's like a backing to make sure that it maintains the storm for a couple months. Do you know what I mean? To make sure that it's in there. But the change happens rapidly. The change happens fast. You will wake up the next day. It's going to be like all that old stuff that used to hold me back. It's like I woke up from a dream. I remember it, but that's not who I really am. And then we'll condition it over time to make sure that it lasts long term. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, or if this resonates with you, book a call down below. Seriously, no pressure. We'll just have a chat, and we're going to do your identity audit. 15 minutes, we're going to find out where you are now, what's potentially holding you back, why you think it is, and then where you want to go. And then we'll figure out what's really going on in terms of patterns. And then we'll get together. If it's the right fit for you, we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you next steps. But like I said, who you are, like wherever you go with you. You can change your habits, change your skills, change your environment, change your job. If you don't solve the root cause of the problem, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to keep getting the Groundhog's Day result in different situations. So do something today that the future you from 6 months from now is going to look back and thank you on. So I'll talk to you soon. Book below. Look forward to chatting with you. We got the link here somewhere, either in the link or the thing below. And I'll talk to you soon. See you.